Good day everyone. Welcome back to the Azure Databricks series. In today's video, we are going to dive into an issue that many of you may have encountered while working with Azure Databricks and Azure Storage accounts. The dreaded error message, key-based authentication, is not permitted on this storage account. I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step process to resolve this issue and explain why it happens in the first place. By the end of this video, you will be able to fix this error and set up your environment properly. So let's get started. Before jumping into the solution, let's understand why this error occurs. So what I'll do is let's head on to our notebook. Yeah. And if you see here, I'm basically trying to display the contents of this particular CSV file, which is called customers.csv. Yeah, so this is the storage account, and I'm using the storage account key here. Yeah, and this is a container name. Yeah, so basically what I'm doing is I'm using the storage account key directly and then executing it. Yeah, so if I execute it, I'm getting this error, which basically tells key-based authentication is not permitted for this storage account. So this is the error that I'm getting. Yeah, so it's pretty straightforward. It basically tells the key that I'm using here, the key-based authentication is no longer permitted. Now, let's understand why this error occurs. Yeah, Azure storage accounts have different authentication mechanisms, such as key-based access, Azure Active Directory authentication, and shared access signatures. Yeah, in some scenario, especially with more secure environments, key-based authentication is disabled to ensure that only token-based or Azure AD-based authentication is used for accessing the resources. Yeah, so if your storage account is configured to disallow a key-based access, but your Databricks cluster or notebook is attempting to use keys for authentication, this error is basically thrown. Yeah, so now what you'll do is let's fix this issue by first turning on the key-based authentication. Yeah, so what we'll do is let's head to this storage account here. Yeah, so the storage account is JB ADB storage account. Yeah, you go to this JB ADB storage account, and then let's go to this configuration here. Yeah, you have this configuration here, and if you can see here, allow storage account key access is currently disabled. Yeah, you just need to click on enable and then click on save. The problem is every time you do this, in case if you have an portal level setting, for example, if your organization wants to disable it, what will happen is it gets disabled and then you will get an error. So this is going to be an thing that you will have to do again and again. Also, what happens is you will basically have to use the storage account key, and what happens is this storage account key, whoever has access to, for example, someone gives this, then what will happen is an access to the underlying storage account will be done. Yeah, I think this is not the best way to go forward for any secure systems. Yeah, so what you can do is instead of putting this storage account key directly here, you can utilize Azure Key Vault again. Using the storage account key will not be a great best practice to follow, to be frank. Yeah, so instead what we need to do is it's better we use the Azure AD authentication. Yeah, as a workaround or resolution, what you can do is you can change this allow storage account key access here to enabled. Yeah, and then click on save, and then when you run this query, you will be able to get the required information. Yeah, so now let's do that. Yeah, and click on save. Yep, it is saved now. So if you see allow storage account key access is enabled. Now let's run this query again. Yeah, so if you see here, we are getting this error, key-based authentication is not permitted. So now let's run it now. And then let's give it a couple of more minutes. Then if you see here, it is basically trying to access it. and it is executing now. Yeah, now you're able to get the data. So this is one way, but this is not the recommended way. Yeah, so what I'll do is like I'll go ahead and save this back. So if you see here, allow storage account key access is disabled now. Yeah. So now what I'll do is like I will try to use uh, uh, more secured method. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is like I'm going to use the Azure AD authentication. Yeah. So for that you need to follow certain procedures. Let's go ahead and do that. First, for that you need to go to this Microsoft Intra ID. Yeah. And once you are on Microsoft Intra ID, what you basically have to do is like click on add here and then click on app registration. Let's give it a name here. I will give it as JB customer app. Yeah. And what I'll do is like I will leave everything else as default here. Yeah. And then click on register. Okay, so the registration is completed now. Yeah. Now let's get this application client ID. Yeah. So let's put it in a notepad, application client ID. Yeah. And then the display name is JB customer app. Let's note that one as well. Yep. Now let's go to this API permissions. Yeah. And then once it comes up, let's click on this add a permission. Yeah. Once this comes up, what I'll do is like I will select Azure Storage. Yeah. So Azure Storage is selected. Select this user underscore impersonation. Yeah. And then click on add permission here. Let's wait for it to complete. So if you see here, um, this is completed Azure Storage. We have added it. Okay, so now let's go to this certificates and secrets. Yeah. And now what we'll do is like, let's click on new client secret. Let's give a name here. I will give a name as Databricks accessing storage account JB customer app. Yeah. And then you can select your expiry date here. Yeah, I will select as 2 years here and then click on add. Yeah, once this is added, what you need to do is like you need to copy this value here. Yeah, for the secret, for this particular secret, you need to copy this value. Let's save that one also. Okay, so this is done now. Now what we'll do is like let's head back to our notebook here. Yeah. And in this notebook, what we basically have to do is like we will have to change the required details here. Yeah. So first one is basically like you need to give in the required things like the storage account name, the container name, and then all those things. So here also in this configuration, you have the storage account details. So you basically have to change those. I haven't used this one here at least. You will have to look at it and change it. Yeah. And the main thing that I need to change here is like this service principal client ID. Yeah, which is this one. So let's copy that. And then let's change that here. Yep, this is changed. Now you need to change your service principal client secret that we have copied here. Yeah, so let's copy that and then let's change that one as well. Okay, and now you need this tenant ID. So let's head back here. Let's go to the overview. And then in the overview, you have this tenant ID. So let's copy that and then let's put it here. Yep, This is done now. So now we have all the things ready. You will have to provide access to this particular JB customer app to the JB ADB storage account in Access Control IAM. Yeah. So now what we'll do is let's try executing it and then see what happens. Okay, so now if you see here, we are getting this error which basically tells like operation failed. This request is not authorized to perform this operation using this permission. So the current permission does not allow us to perform this operation. Just want to show you guys. So now what we'll do is like, you know that this is the JB customer app. So let's copy that. And then let's go to the access control IAM and then let's click on add role assignment here. Yeah. And then what we'll do is like we'll search for blob contributor. Yep. So we have this blob data contributor, which allows you to read, write, and delete access to Azure blob containers and data. So this is the one that I need. So let's click on next. Let's click on select members here and then search for our JB customer app. Yeah, we have this JB customer app. Let's select it. Click on select. Click on next. And then let's review and assign it. Okay, this is done now. So now what we'll do is like, let's head back to our notebook here and then let's run it. So now when I run it, I'm able to get the required data. So now I'm not giving any kind of informations directly here. Yeah. So so this way I'll be able to access my storage account more securely. And that's it. We have successfully resolved the key-based authentication is not permitted error by switching to Azure Active Directory-based authentication in Azure Databricks. I hope this step-by-step guide has been helpful for you. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more tutorials and solutions on Azure Databricks and other cloud technologies. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Jai Hind.